So today we are going to paint a waterfall scene, and we are going to do it using the methods that we've already learned from color and aerial perspective and warm and cool, lost and found edges, reflection of water. You know, in Grenada, we have many waterfalls, so I'm sure that there's one that is quite well established in your mind. I know that Annandale is very well established in my mind. Annandale is just like so iconic. Concord, oh, it's okay, but not so strong as Annandale. And what I love about Annandale is all the forest that dips in around it. So today you can see that the painting behind me here has that feeling of that you're way deep in the forest and the trees are bending down to you. And that's what we're going to try to make in the painting that we're working on. I would like to thank Catapult for this opportunity, because Catapult are the ones who organized it all, along with American Friends of Jamaica. And the other one is Kingston Creative and Fresh Milk Barbados. So we have a lot of people to thank today to make this opportunity possible. And I think that that is what we really, really need for Caribbean art to go forward as a unit. And when you say Caribbean art, that people immediately get this picture of a very progressive, very, very participatory, very diverse set of art and artists that really are ready to make a big footprint in the world. So let's get going. Okay, I put out on my palette some of the basic colors we've been working with all along. White, dioxazine purple, some red earth sienna color, some ultramarine blue, some red, two kinds of yellow. So the first thing I did, which is what we do in every class, is that we prepare our ground. And the ground is, of course, the canvas. We don't want to start with a white canvas. We are not coloring in a coloring book, filling in lines. We are building a painting using what we know about color and texture. And that is what we will try to do here today. We're going to do it really quick. Remember, if I'm going too fast, I do want you to try to keep up, because it puts your brain into a different place than being too deliberate. But if you cannot keep up, you can always go back and look at the video afterwards. So we're going to first make a cartoon of our scene. And by cartoon, I just mean, you know, a suggestion of lines of our scene for the painting. And I'm going to put the waterfall approximately there, put some rocks that waterfall falls over, because waterfalls are really just rivers that are having a down day. So the water will fall to just about here, and the pond that it falls into will come down. So to continue, we're making the cartoon, we're making the outline of what we're going to paint of this waterfall. And so I've just established where the fall was going to be. I established that there's going to be a pond of water here that it's falling into. And I'm now want to go on to establish some darks and lights, because darks and lights and warms and cools is how we're going to build this. This is my method. This is what I always do. I always start with this orange or red ground. And the reason I do that is because a lot of the colors that I use, particularly in landscapes, are blues and greens. and reds and oranges are the complementary colors of those. So I do not cover every speck of the canvas. Sometimes you're going to see a little red poking through. And when that happens, it makes the green around it look much brighter and much more brilliant, because in your eyes are those rods and cones. And when you put two complementary colors next to each other, the rods and cones in your eyes vibrate. And, you know, you can almost feel it if you're looking for it. And so that's why I always start with this colored ground, so that it has something nice to vibrate against. All right, so first let's put in some darks. So I know that here under the waterfall, I'm using this purple. If you don't have a purple in your colors, mix some red and blue. So I'm just putting in some darkness here in the shape of rocks. This is going to be the darkest place in the painting. And I'm going to put in a line of shadow of darkness here at the edge of the pond. All right, because this is Annandale Falls, at Annandale Falls, we have these beautiful stair-stepping rock formations coming off of the river, of the hillside. So I'm going to put those in, and just also put some dark color in here, because that's what we see. We see this darkness here. And I'm going to really come back later and put in some more light so that you see the darkness against the light. Okay, now the sky. The sky in those very foresty areas is influenced by what's around it. And you see all those leaves against the sky. So I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow. That's kind of a warm yellow that I'm using there. It's kind of a warm yellow, and I'm mixing it with the white just there on my path, putting in the sky that is close to the top of the waterfall. So I'm just going to very loosely, all kinds of different directions. I'm not being precious about this at all, because we're covering this. Just little bits of this are going to eventually show through. All right, now I'm going to wipe my brush. I'm not rinsing it. I don't want any extra water in that brush. So I just wiped it with a paper towel. And now I'm going to go into the blue with some white. And I'm going to start from the top and come down. And again, I'm just, you know, every which way on the brush strokes. I'm not painting a house, so I don't need to go side to side, up and down. Every which way. If you have a little texture edge that, you know, comes off the brush and stays on the canvas, just leave it. It's nice. Okay, and now I want to put a little more white into that brush, and I'm just going to pull the blue down into the yellow. Okay, there we go. We're going to cover all this. This is not going to be showing much. It's just going to be little windows up, little triangles. Y'all know how much I like triangles. We're going to have little triangles of this showing through. Okay, now I want to take a little bit of that red. Ooh, that red makes too brown. You know, sometimes you try something and it doesn't work. That just happened. So I'm going to take a little blue again, and I'm going to take a little bit of that purple that I have. And I want to start bringing in this foliage that is in the background. So I want it to be leafy, treesy kind of shapes bowing down to this waterfall. And you see, I'm almost pouncing with that brush now. I'm not stroking really at all. I'm just kind of, I want a little bit more darker back over here. So I'd go back into the purple again. I want this to be a little darker. So go back into the purple. Okay, good. So we have a good approximation of where the sky and the river and the waterfall are going to hit. They're going to hit right here in the top third of the painting. Now, from here going down is a lot more rocks. I want those rocks to be purple and red. Again, we're going to put stuff, greenery over those. So those could be really rocky and it'll be fine. We're just sort of blocking out color at this point. Right here, where the pond is the edge of the river, I want to put in a little bit of a bank, and to do that, I just took some of that yellow and some of the red that I had left, and I'm just gonna put a little bank right there. And we'll cover it up lately, but that just gives us a little device to use to put some bamboo on. Okay, now I need some green. So the best way for me to get green, I think, is to mix it myself. So I'm going to mix some of that warm yellow. And I'm going to mix some blue. And I'm going to get a little bit of orange in there because orange makes really nice olive greens. Let's hope I have some orange here. I do. I have it in this big tube. That's okay. Gonna take it anyway. I see what you mean, Tamika. That thing is shaking too much. All right, so a little bit of orange. You stay over here.
I see where you're putting the orange because only part of the picture's there.
I just put it on the palette.
Okay. Oh.
That's all. Just getting it ready. Okay. So we want to make some green. That green we're going to make by mixing the yellow and the blue. And we're going to start building up some texture here. We're going to start building up some trees and some, oh, don't blow away. That's not the right thing to do. You know what? I'm just going to close this window so that doesn't happen. Oh, the window is closed. It must be having a hurricane. Okay, green. I didn't mix it too much. If you see here, I didn't mix it too much. I just sort of dipped into the yellow. I dipped into the blue. It's sort of on my brush, just in different globs of color. And I'm going to let it mix itself on the painting itself. So I have trees going in. Some are close, some are far. This is a perfect opportunity to use your fan brush. The fan brush makes lovely trees with branches. So I'm just going to get some of that blue, get some of the yellow, not mix it too much. I'm going to put just a little bit of orange right on the base of that brush. So I have blue, I have yellowy green, I have orange, and I want to make some trees going up here. And I'm not brushing. I'm just sort of pouncing. Let's do some on the other side. Okay, don't kill it. Stop before you're done. Stop before you're done, otherwise you kill it and it starts to look like mud. And we don't want any mud in that river. Okay, so we have rocks, we have trees. Now let's put some of the plants that we know are there. Okay, some of the plants that we know are there are some beautiful ferns, some cactus-like sort of planty things. And we'll do that with the different brushes that we have. So again, we'll load up our brush. We'll load up our brush, but we're not gonna mix those colors on the palette. We're gonna let them mix together. Okay, I'm getting here a flat brush. All right, and I'm gonna take some blue. I'm gonna take some yellow. And at that particular waterfall, there's these leaves that come out of the side of the cliff that are like heart shaped. And the ones that are further away from you are a little smaller. And then as they come closer to you, they get bigger and they look more like hearts, which I like very much. It's a little too much yellow, that's okay. We'll just add some blue. Now, I want you to notice that I'm using lots of paint. You cannot be skimpy with the paint at this stage. You have to put it on with generosity. You have to love it enough to just put it there and leave it so that it's impressionistic. We're not putting every detail, every vein of every leaf. We're making a suggestion, an impression of what we want them to look like. So if I have green and I want it to look really pop out at me, what I put under the green is a little bit of red. The red is not going to be the first thing people see. In fact, some people won't see it at all. But what it does is makes the green look even greener. Okay, so I have a little thin brush and I'm going to dip it into that red and into that orange a little bit. And I'm just going to go on the edges of these leaves to give it a little kiss of that complementary color, because it will now start to look so vivid. The computer's not really picking up that color. I wish you could see it. Well, you can see it if you do it yourself. But you see the stroke is very, very loose, very light. You know how many years I worked to try to get loose? A lot of years. So we're not done with this hillside. We're just going to leave it for a minute because I want to put some branches in these.
That you did to make the leaves in the first place?
What brush did I use? I was using a flat brush.
Okay.
And I just did a blue stroke and a green stroke. So the blue sort of becomes the shadow and the yellowy green becomes the highlight.
Oh, that was definitely doing that one wrong.
No, you can't do it wrong.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't.
Give it a chance to dry a little bit and then you're gonna go back over it, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Any other questions? I know we're speeding along.
We are.
That's good. It means your right brain is engaged. Okay, so I want to put some branches up here. And so I'm taking the skinny brush and I use the same orange and I'm just like hitting the highlights of the branches. I'm not putting it in thick and, you know, like some are under the leaves, some are in the shadows, some are in the highlights. And I make it look like a tree. Okay, same thing over here. Okay. You know, the branches are made up of triangles, which you know I love. So some are open triangles, some are closed triangles, some are big, some are little. And we're just putting those there to complete the story of our trees in the forest. All right, good. Are you with me? Nobody's there. Are you with me?
I might have gotten left, but I'm trying to catch up.
Rick, are you with me?
Trying to paint and unmute at the same time is very tricky.
Anne, are you with me?
It's happening.
Are you with me, Anne?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
My colors are not as nice as yours.
There's no such thing as nice. You know, the
Like
point
for
is
me, the amount of paint that I use when I'm doing this technique and then no fixing.
don't fix it. Just keep going. Jim, are you with us? Did we lose Jim?
Yes, no, Jim's here.
Okay. Good.
I'm keeping up.
Okay. I know that you get very quiet while you're doing this because it takes all of your brain's energy just to keep going. And that's fine. That's what we want. That's why when you're painting for yourself in your studio or your little setup, time just seems to disappear and fly by because, you know, it's this painting thing takes you to a different place. And right now in the world, we all need to be taken to a different place, as long as there's coffee. Okay, so we're going to continue. Let's do the branches and the trees and the bushes coming down here. I think I would like to go back to my brush, my fan brush, and I need a little bit more white. But again, we're going to make those very, you know, it's very intuitive. We're not painting a portrait of a waterfall. We're painting a feeling of a waterfall. And in that feeling, we're going to get a lot of variation. So, yellow, blue, and just a little tip of white on the end. Not too much. We don't want to kill it with white. So here, you saw I started in the middle and then came down sort of in a circle. I mean, even to describe it is difficult because just easier to do than to say. All right, now a little orange. So all of a sudden, what happens is that darkness that we painted in the back recedes, and the light colors and the texture causes what we're painting in the foreground, middle ground now to come towards us. So we have that push-pull that makes it look like something that's real, something that we've seen before. And because we have those colors underneath, you know, it's the same blue and yellow and white as we did over here. But because of the treatment of the brushing, because we're stippling it with the fan brush, we get a different set of textures. And so it makes it a little Gives us a little more variety, which I really like. All right. You ready for water? Get the fattest, widest, flattest brush that you have. Mine is what? I guess I'll use this one. It's an oil painting brush, so it's a little bit stiff, but that's okay. I'm still going to use it, and I'm going to use it with a lot of paint because that's the joy of this. You know, Tamika said you find yourself using a lot of paint, but the painting is quite small. So in the big scheme of things, you're not using much paint. And besides that, it's producing for you something that's really wonderful. That's going to make you happy. That's going to give you joy. You can give it to your mother for Christmas. She gonna like it.
She's right there.
Well, Tamika, you don't think your mother gonna like it?
I said she's right here.
Well, hi, Mom.
Stop with it.
Tamika's mom is the quarantine queen. She taught us all. She taught us all what we must do. Okay, so I want to I don't have the white for the waterfall there yet because I want to give that purple and red paint just a little longer to dry. And so I'm going to pretend it's there and I'm going to reflect it down here in the water. So you have to use your imagination with me and it will start to make sense later. Okay, so I have here, water is the color of whatever is around it. If you have a pond of water and directly above it is a blue sky, the water's gonna look blue. The ocean, if you're at the beach and it's a beautiful day without a cloud in the sky, you're gonna look and you're gonna see the sea is going to be the reflection of the sky, so it will be blue. If it's a stormy day and you have lots of gray clouds scuttling across the sky, the sea is gonna be grayish purple, maybe with some white breakers. So when we're looking at this, we see the green of the forest, we see the blue of the sky up here. So we want that reflected in what we do here. So the first colors, we're going to work from the green going across. The first colors here, we're going to put in strokes like this. Downward strokes, don't go back over them. I'm running out of paint. Okay, so just put them in like that. I need some more yellow to make some more green because I do have blue there. But just pull them down. Don't move them, just pull them straight down with the widest brush that you have. Do not be making any crisscrosses or sideways strokes yet. All right, so, right. So I got some more of the yellow, so I'm gonna pull that in. This is what's under the rock there, so it's gonna be dark. There's a lot of yellow up here and it's gonna reflect in the water down here. So I'm gonna take just some pure yellow, well, pure, you know, mixed with what was there before, and just bring it down so that I can see that in the water. All right, now I want to put the waterfall in. So, well, I want to put the reflection of the waterfall in. So I'm taking a smaller brush because I wanted something flat. So I'm going to take this white. I'm just going to let a little bit of the yellow and green come in. And I'm going to pull it down again, just where the waterfall is going to be. I want to pull that so I see it reflected in the pool. Want some sky. So without washing my brush, I just went back in and got a little tip of blue. And now I'm going the other direction. I'm going from bottom to top to put that blue in. Because I wanted to show, ooh, I got a little red. That was pretty. I wanted to show the color of that sky peeking through the trees there. Now, everything's going down, so we need to now give that water some life. So what we're gonna do is take, this one is take a big brush, take a soft brush, take any brush that you have that is a little bit feathery. If you have a makeup brush, this is perfect. And what we're going to do is go side to side very, very lightly to blend this, to make this so that it's not just I'm leaving the white for last. We're just trying to make it look like water is moving. Ooh, that's fun. I love doing this. This is like playtime, but you got to stop. Don't play too much. But you see how it looks like reflective water just from knowing that one little technique? Pretty amazing. Okay. Don't keep playing with it. You will ruin it. I'm talking to myself, by the way. Okay, so now we want a few more little ripples. So I took a little bit of the blue and a little bit of white and just very incidentally. That brush is a little too fat. Just put in some ripples. Okay, let's check on our progress here. Checking on the progress of how dry these rocks are. It's not completely dry, but when I do this, it doesn't bring up too much. So I think we can go ahead and put the waterfall in. And again, caution is just of the essence here. We just have to be not overdo it. So I'm going to take my fan brush. I'm going to put a little bit of that yellow, a little bit of the blue, and a whole lot of white and put in my brush. So it's not dazzling white, because what we said already is that white, the water reflects what's around it. So in order for it to reflect what's around it, that water is going to have blue, it's going to have green, we're going to see through some of it to see through the darkness of the rocks. So take it on your brush, fill up that brush with paint, and then we're going to apply it very fast and not furious. We're just going to do it fast. All right, so I'm going to stop talking while I'm doing it, because if I keep talking, I'll make a mistake. Okay, so I put down the white, the blue, the green, just sort of like there are rocks underneath it. And I even want some of those rocks to actually show through. When I reached down here, I want to stipple it up a little so that it looks like it's some of those water droplets are bouncing. Okay, I'm using my fan brush again, just putting some movement in the water, just putting that edge over there. Are we having fun yet? Tamika, are we having fun?
Yeah. Trying to keep up.
Rick, what do you think?
I'm trying.
And
I'm trying.
I'm
Trying,
glad
trying to
we're-
keep up here.
Okay, I'm just, I was gonna, originally, I was gonna put some bamboo coming all the way up the side, but I think I'm not gonna do that. And the reason not is because I love how this is looking. And if I put the bamboo going all the way up, I'm gonna cover that. So I think I'm gonna leave it. And so if I'm leaving it, I'm just gonna put a little shoreline right here with my skinny brush and just indicate a little bit that this is where the water is hitting the little bit of sand that's there by that waterfall. Not going to put any much detail down here. It doesn't need it. And then over here, I want that to go in a little bit. So to make it go in, I'm going to make it dark. Right. So you can just sort of see the, okay, one of the most fascinating and beautiful plants that's at Annandale Falls is, I don't even know if they're vines or if they're viruses or bacteria or what they are, but they're orange and they come down from under these. Have y'all seen them up there?
Yeah,
You
They look-
notice them?
they look like vines.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they're roots, maybe, if they're roots that those heart-shaped leaves are sending down to get a drink, maybe.
Mm.
But I love them. I'm always watching them. And it's like you just can't have too many. But what you notice what happens is when you put that orange against the green, it sort of sparkles there. And that's what we want. We want sparkles. Okay. Now, the last bit of thing that I want to do with this is just add some more leaves at the top that look like, these are the ones that we're seeing against the light. And so they're very dark. And so we're just going to put those in because they give us a reference now that tells us these leaves are right over the waterfall. And the ones that are where the edges are lost, the one where the edges are lost are the ones that are further back from us. Because remember, we talked about lost and found edges. The ones that are found are the ones that have a very sharp edge and are close to you, and the ones that are lost are the ones that have a fuzzy edge and are harder to determine exactly where they stop and where they start. And it's a technique that you can use to make something look like nature. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of ripple down in this water to make it look like it's reflecting what's above. All right, anybody willing to show what they have so far? Anybody brave? Anne, you're a brave soul. This is looking a little too round. I'm going to just make an adjustment here because I want this to not look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to show us it?
Okay. Yeah, I don't care. So it's okay.
Oh, yes!
There you go.
Can you pin her, Asher? So that we can see her bigger? Or Anne, can you pin yourself?
I don't know how to do that. Huh?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. The light is not so good here tonight. I'm sorry.
That's okay, we can see.
All right. So
Very
that's
good.
Not bad. Tried.
My only little criticism, right
Yeah.
across the top of the trees on the
This side. Hey, yeah.
little bit square.
I need
So,
to.
so if you could put some irregular shaped leaves, just pounce some color going up into the sky there.
Okay.
Doesn't square off like the top of a building.
Yeah. All right. No
You know what I'm
problem.
saying?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. The bottom is okay.
the water's great.
Okay.
Very good.
Thanks.
Okay, who's next?
I could do mine. I have another
That's you, Tamika.
one, switch a few. One, two different devices. Okay, no, hold on. Switch.
I want to see if there's any paintbrushes in your hair.
They're all in my hands.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. There, pin you. So, oh, you are pinned, but I'm not seeing you. It must be you have a computer and a
I
phone.
have two, so pin the phone on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Again, you did great with the water.
Water looks fantastic there.
Very good. The only little bit of criticism I would give is to smudge that line between this yellow in the sky and the blue in the sky. Maybe just take some white, just so that it's not quite so dominant. Okay?
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah. But
Right?
I think I got left there, so I figured I can fix that myself. So
Yes.
I just
Yes.
have to come back.
Good. Very good. Okay. Jem, you're going to show us?
Sure.
Pin him. Oh, there's Tamika. Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
Very good. And you can even take some more of the branches and leaves into that yellow so that you set it back. Right now it's looking like a ball of sunset, which is great, but set it back by crossing across. You did it on one side. You did, I don't know if it's the left or the right, but you did it. So do it on the other side as well. And your waterfall looks like the one in Jamaica that steps down. Have you seen pictures of that one?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, very good. Love it. And who we have left? We have Rick? Where's Rick?
Yes, ma'am. Yep, I'm just opening it up here.
Okay. Didn't know you were going to have show and tell, did you?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, I just want to be able to see what I'm seeing here. Okay,
right.
it's fairly dark, so.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, there's some interesting areas that I like and some areas that just kind of took a life of their own, so.
That's what happens. That's
I don't
what
know if
happens, and that's what makes it uniquely yours.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a waterfall or just something kind of interesting and abstract, so.
Okay. You could call it abstraction on waterfall.
Exactly, so.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Good. Is that on canvas?
Yep, it's just a small, probably about a 12 by 14 canvas.
Okay. All right, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Asher, can you pin it back to me? Not the phone, but me, my computer. Okay, let's see. Here, me, and let me pin it. There I am. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for playing with me this afternoon. I enjoyed it a lot. And hopefully we're going to have an opportunity to do this again. I like doing it. I like painting with you all, and it's encouraging to me. It's encouraging to see other people wanting to get involved with this. So I have to thank the good people at Catapult from Fresh Milk in Barbados and the project that they have set up. I have to thank American Friends of Jamaica and Jamaica. I wrote this on my table here, all right, so I wouldn't forget. The Kingston Creative in Jamaica, and also all of those people who have been tuning in over the YouTube videos during the past weeks. My interview will be on Friday at 1. If you all would like to join me, I would feel very honored, where I talk about my work and my process, the new body of work, which you can see quite a bit of it on Instagram right now, Susan Maines. So thanks again. See you soon. I would love to see you all at an opening. Why don't you come? No kidding. I'll see you all soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Susan. Bye for now.
Bye.
Have a good night, Jan.
Okay. Thank you, Asher.